and welcome to the Your Business Incubator podcast. Today we've got a special guest with us. I'd like to first introduce my co-founder, the lovely Tiffany KO,
Hello.
and our guest today is Jason E, and we're going to talk a little bit about the personal side of business.
Hey, Brandon, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, in my opinion, the personal side of business is more about you're a single entrepreneur, you're starting a company, you've got no one to talk to. You can't go talk to a shrink all the time or quote unquote psychiatrist. So, what are some of those things that you can do that, helps you deal with the struggles and challenges if you're starting a business from the first time?
Well, this is one of the things that I run into fairly often. Nobody goes into business thinking this is going to be a really lonely job. And very quickly they find out that even if they have employees, they don't have peers they can talk to about their own troubles. That kind of lack of support can be difficult when you're trying to run a business.
And when you're running a business and you don't have anyone to, potentially talk to, are there techniques that you can do to kind of stay sane, instead of yelling at the people that you're working with? Or is it, as little as, taking a little time out for yourself and counting to 20 to decompress? As a friend of mine always used to say, everything is fine and dandy till a Scud missile hits, and then you're in chaos.
There are things, self-care is one of the most important aspects of running your own business. The pressure of being the one in charge of everything going on can become overwhelming.
What do you
Business,
do when you feel you're a little overwhelmed?
I take a little break for myself. I'm pretty good at keeping my schedule and set up in a way that helps me, I guess, take small breaks between tasks.
Gotcha.
So I'll go through one task and give myself a few minutes to just rest and recharge and let, all that mental energy come back, and then I'll start on my next task.
Gotcha. Mine is music sometimes. If I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, I'll take a break and listen to a little bit of music. Tiffany, what do you do sometimes if you're feeling, a little overwhelmed on the personal side of running a business?
Honestly, for me, it's music as well, but I actually don't take a break and listen to the music. I actually turn on the music, kind of really vibe to it while I'm doing the thing that's hard. I'll try to make some fun out of it,
Mm,
so it
Yeah,
doesn't feel so heavy.
I do
gotcha.
that as well. That music while I'm working is a lot of help. Keeps the flow going.
Now, do you bob your head and dance a little bit in the chair, or do you okay, let me just listen to the music?
I get into it.
Just,
Yeah, my head's definitely bobbing. Now, the million
okay.
dollar question here is, Jason, is what type of music?
I listen to just about anything, as it depends on what mood I'm in and what kind of creativity I'm trying to cultivate.
Mm,
Ooh, good
interesting.
answer.
Interesting. Interesting. Tiffany, what kind of music you listen to when you need to?
So it does change depending on what I'm doing, but I will say that if I'm doing something that is funny enough, kind of analytical or just hard, I end up turning on EDM music. Somehow
EDM.
that works. Some
It's
I
Okay.
don't listen to EDM in my day-to-day life. I don't go to festivals. I don't follow it for whatever reason when I work. EDM gets me through.
EDM. What is EDM? That's something I
Electronic
is
dance music.
oh, I thought that it was one of those young people slang, terms that I don't know about.
There's still plenty that we have to learn about that, but no, EDM
Yeah.
is definitely, yeah, the electronic dance music.
Interesting. A little bit like techno?
Yeah, but probably not as well, there's a lot of different variations of it, so not quite techno, like the type I listen to, but, it's along the same lines, basically. I listen to mostly just beats.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. I personally, I consider myself a Renaissance man, so I kind of listen to a little of everything, and I absolutely have an old spirit, so I definitely like the oldies, the '70s, Marvin Gaye, Luther Vandross, Barry White. I kind of love those. Not the disco, but I did hear a song the other day. It was country. Yes, I do like a little country every now and then. Certain songs I
There's
will
no
listen to.
judgment.
Okay, just letting
Yeah.
people know. I do listen to a little country every now and then. I'm just trying
Although
to
I am
remember the
picturing
name of
you
the
with
song.
a hat now.
I would. It's one hat that I don't have is a cowboy hat.
Well, it sounds like somebody's getting one for his birthday.
I got a birthday in 10 days, so I will come out for a cowboy birthday gift hat. I definitely would. Oh, but
Yeah,
no,
I
that's
think
good to know.
when I lean into things that are really difficult, I like to bring out the old 90s rock and rap. It's music that
Oh,
I grew up with.
nice.
Always, hits home and gets me in the right mindset.
Yeah, well, I graduated high school in the '80s. No judgment there, but we grew up with rap, and hip hop,
Mhm.
and that was the hip hop before it got crazy. We did have Ice-T and we did have NWA and some others, but for the most part, all the rap music was clean back then. And there was men and women and different artists, and we used to go to house parties and jam like half the night away. So the music I grew up with music, and it was definitely a part. And I believe, to me, it's 100% a calming mechanism when things seem to be going out of control, or just when you want to get re-centered. Because I know with a lot of business owners out there, it is a challenge when you're just starting a business, or if you're a one person business and trying to grow it, and even if you're a 2 or 3 person business, you got to be aware of your attitude, and you got to be aware of how to deal with stress and not project that stress on other people, your employees or vendors. And so you have to cope with it, because you know my wife doesn't want to hear about all of the shit problems I've got related to work. That's the last thing that I can do. I don't know about the two of you, but that's the last thing that I can do.
Well, self-awareness is, I think, key because that overwhelm, that up and down, that doing stressful things like that does not go away, no matter how long you've been in business. You just, I think,
Absolutely.
get better at handling it.
I also recommend to my clients that they find a peer group who they can share their struggles with, other business owners in different industries who understand the same experiences and, can share their advice or, you know, just understand.
Yeah, I can understand with that. I would definitely gripe to another business owner, like I have probably griped to Tiffany before in the past.
And vice versa.
So, it's all good there. But, that's some good advice. Jason, tell people how they can reach out to you if they'd like to learn more, and learn more about, some of the things that you can help them with.
Well, my website is jasonekinsllc.com, and that gives you a nice introduction to leadership coaching and will connect you to my calendar if you'd like to talk more.
Excellent. Is there a phone number that people can reach you at?
Sure, my phone number is 571-762-5869.
Excellent. I want to thank Jason for joining us today. And reminder that if you need some advice, please don't hesitate to reach out. And thank you, Jason, for coming on and being with us today.
Well, thanks for having me, Brandon. It was good talking to you, Tiffany.
All right. Thank you so much, Jason.
All right, it was great talking to Jason. I've spent some time chatting with him, and number one, I definitely love his calming voice, to be honest, when we're talking over the phone. Um, but it's
Kindred
really,
spirit,
yeah,
Brandon.
say again,
Kindred spirit.
little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit. But it's very true. There was some good points. It's easier for business owners to talk to business owners about their challenges and the things that they could use some advice with. It just makes sense. You can't really talk to your employees or your people that are providing service to you about some of the challenges that you're having. And it's truly one of the things that no one talks about. You go to SBA, you go to SCORE, you go to all of these other organizations that talk about helping you with your business. No one talks about, what do you need to do if you're having a bad day and you don't want to project that on the people around you.
Well, that emotional support piece, just like anything else in the past decades where it's kind of taboo to talk about, right? Which is why it's so great in the decade we are in now, where mental health is being spoken so much more openly.
Right.
And same thing, the toll of running a business on a business owner, that is something that nobody expects. And everybody handles it differently. The
Yeah.
level of stress that comes with it and how you react. I remember that I reacted in a way when I first started out and was feeling probably the most pressure and overwhelm I've ever felt in my life. I reacted in ways that surprised me, not realizing that I would ever react that way. Now, again, never been in that situation, so you don't know how you're going to react, but the knee jerk reaction is not always positive. And if you kind of stay in that space where you're alone and you feel like you have nobody to turn to, but yet, even worse, like Jason was saying, you can still feel that loneliness even if you're surrounded by employees, right? You're surrounded by clients. There's just not a lot of places for you to turn to if you're not planning or preparing or looking out to surround yourself with like-minded business owners that will empathize with what you're going through.
Right. And I will probably never say this again in public, but I sometimes in the early stages, in the early days, way back, would probably talk to the cats because
Wow.
they were sitting on my desk and they were listening.
There is something very magical about having a live being listen. They don't have to say anything, right? Because clearly your cats were not. Well, I don't know. If your cat started talking back to you, Brandon, eh,
I'm grabbing
right?
a cross and performing an exorcism.
So even if like the person you're speaking with doesn't say anything back, doesn't have a conversation, and they're just listening, there's something very therapeutic at just that, simply having somebody hear you for what you're going through, and that is so key. And that's why we like having the conversations we're having today, because this stuff is not talked about. But it is talked about when you're at your business incubator, and definitely one of the forefront subjects and topics that hopefully we'll talk quite a bit about on air and offline one-on-one with our members.
Right. And like I have said in the past, I am not a therapist, but I can at least listen. And, one of the benefits that we offer in being a member is getting that 30 minutes each week of mentoring time. And I don't need to, we don't need to always talk. We can just have a conversation and listen. Sometimes that's more important than saying anything at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And that mentoring time right now that we're offering for 30 minutes a week, it's for a limited time. So,
Right.
if anyone's willing to start their business and join as a member for the your business incubator, that's absolutely one of the most commonly used benefits, I guess is the best way to put it,
Yes. I talk
that
to a
we,
lot of
we
people
have.
every week.
And right now you get the special of talking to Brandon for
What
those
up? What
30
up?
minutes,
Yeah.
right? And all the wealth of your experience and your compassion and your empathy.
Right.
It's so valuable. that business owners have somebody like that in their corner. So
Right.
not just about the strategy, it's just not about the task and the hustle culture. The emotional side of a business owner's life is very real.
Yeah. Like Jodeci, the group used to sing, they had a song, Come and Talk to Me. I really wanna know you. Oh, okay, that's it. We'll leave that one alone. We'll leave that one
And
alone.
luckily, there's also great professionals out there like Jason, right?
Yes.
Where this is like their focus, this is their passion, this is what they're set up to do. And, we're going to keep adding more people in our community like Jason so that our members can also help each other out. Either.
Yes.
So,
Great
yeah.
topic today. Great topic.
All right. So, with that, we're going to round out today's podcast. If you enjoyed what you have heard, please hit that like button, 5 stars, thumbs up, whatever emoticon that you have your hands on that's positive, throw it our way. We can definitely use the support. That helps the platforms know that we have a good podcast here so that they can help promote us and keep spreading the message. So, with that, I think it is time for us to sign off today, Brandon.
Holla at your boy.
Until next time.
Peace out.